Hello, everyone. So today we're going to walk through how do we use Code Interpreter to do basic data analysis. So I've gone ahead and gone to the census government website and pulled data that I've linked in the description for a data set that we're now uploading. This is, as you'll see soon, industry level data on states. And so we put the data in here and we can go ahead and say, hey, Code Interpreter, can you please give me an overview of what's in this data? And it'll help you do that very first layer of data explanation. It's fun to watch. Starts with the first few rows, it tells you that, and then it's going to look into the structure. So some of these aren't perfect, like number 3. It didn't really read the data below the first 2 rows very well, but at least it's giving you some sense of what's in the first 2 rows and what it's doing. Now it's going deeper into the data. It's actually letting us know where we have missing values, which is really cool. And it tells you we might need to clean it. So let's go ahead and have it clean it and convert those data types. And I always like to be super polite with Code Interpreter. Who knows? Will it remember how polite we were once it becomes much smarter than us? Probably not. Will it matter? Probably not. But there's that little chance. And it gives you a little data preview. I love how you see how autonomous the agent is. It's not just doing what we've asked it to do. Very cool. So let's take a look while it's doing some of its work. You can even just scroll up a bit. It'll keep writing down there. And we can look into the data. This is cool. We get the payroll. And look, we want to learn more about all of this stuff. So we'll soon dig into the data, but it's given us a good first stab. It's ready for further analysis. So I like to even ask it what the best analysis would be. So let's pretend you're a cutting edge researcher in the business school at Harvard. And you're studying by state industry differences. Please create a 12-page report to characterize them based on this data. Please lead with a few interesting insights. And so first it's thinking through what it should look at. State level differences, industry distribution, relationships. And so then it's going into, okay, here's the types of insights we'll look at. Those aren't that high quality if we look actually right now. These diversity of industry, okay, maybe, but that's not super insightful. So sometimes it does have deficiency, which points to the importance to edit, but it's going ahead and doing the state level analysis it told us it would. So we get the top 5 states. Okay, that's interesting, I suppose. It's not super intelligent, but it gives us a first cut. It gives us some descriptive data. Wow, over $1 trillion in payroll annually in California, despite its high tax rate. And surprising, I guess, that we see Pennsylvania's employees aren't paid very well, or at least relative to Illinois based on the top 5 that we can see here, but that might give us a hypothesis of something to look into later. These insights are pretty bad. So it's just like listing top 5. So we'll push it in a second. We'll say, hey, why are the top 5, why is that interesting? Like, it should be ratios, it should be regressions. And so sometimes you do have to push the model, but it's good to let it get started. And so I love to do the exploratory data analysis with it. There we go. Now it's getting into the relationship. So it's thinking on its own, actually, and that's very much a characteristic of Code Interpreter and one that's super powerful. This time it's actually taking some time to work. And so sometimes, in the background, it's actually calling some pretty complex libraries and code. Wow, look at that. Hello, that's cool. So we got top 10 industries by employment: healthcare, retail, accommodation, manufacturing. Okay. It's not that impressive of an insight. Of course, professional, scientific, and technical services would have higher payroll per employee. And then we get the number of establishments by employment. Okay, it's an analysis. The data points could be a lot bigger in the chart so that they're easy to read, but obviously they would be related. So, it's not the best analysis, but it's getting there. So let's go ahead and think ourselves. Like, what are some cool analyses we want to do? I think, first, let's understand average wage by state. Bucket it into 5 buckets. Then let's see the top industries by bucket in a stacked bar chart. Maybe only top 5 industries. Let's see how it does. So you can ask it to do relatively complex analysis, and that wasn't maybe the best analysis that I framed now that I think about it, but that's the fun part of this. It's not going to take too long for it to spit out its results. And in the historically, before ChatGPT Code Interpreter, you had to actually go figure out this analysis on your own. You had to collate the data within Excel. Here, it's go ahead and given us some. So it looks like it didn't actually correctly show us the full image, but that's okay. It tried its best. There you go. Yeah. So we see. I don't think the insight was great. So let's do this. Let's learn more about professional, scientific, and technical services. Please characterize that industry. Average wage, top states, top districts, and what other stats from the industry correlate or help predict from the county? High professional wage payroll. And see, I have plenty of typos in here, so I wanted to do that on purpose just to characterize, it's actually using the power of transformers, understanding, okay, profession, scientific, and technical services. What's up with that? What is he talking about? And then it's taking it the next level to say, okay, let me go ahead and do the analysis now that I understood what he actually meant. And so that's what it's working on now. Let's see if the results are good. I think the coolest thing is really that they're the results at all. Boom, $104,000. And we see that the establishments, okay, it's doing its top 5 state thing. It obviously really likes that, but that's not exactly what we asked it for. We wanted to characterize it. So it's okay. I guess he did fine. The AI did okay. Overall, though, you got to be impressed with how quickly it's doing all of this. California, New York, and Texas. And now it's going to go into correlation. So you see how it does a really good job of splitting up its work. Do you have that data in your training data that you could join? Let's ask. that's like one of the things that you'll run into where it can't always connect data. And so you could go find that data, and I might go do that and catch you in the next one.